Hi everyone. This purpose of the video is to basically first show us or give us a bit of a reminder on where we start on Blackboard. From Blackboard, how do we move on to Pearson? And from Pearson, how do we access all the files that we are going to need, including the homework, and including the simulations based on training and simulations based on assessment. So I'm going to start here by logging into my Blackboard. Once you've logged in on Blackboard, you'll see that I have added an announcement. This is the announcement, and this announcement is about how to join the class on Microsoft Teams. The instructions are very simple. I've added two things there. I've added the code that if you're in the lab, you can log into Microsoft Teams, because in the labs, Microsoft Teams is installed there. So you can log in on Microsoft Teams, and then you can join the class by entering a code, and the code is there on the announcement. So I'm just gonna click on the subject, and so you can see. I'm also gonna put this video, the link to the video also on the announcement, so you can see where to redirect to get the actual video. So let's just wait for a little bit. It's still loading. I'm just going to open the announcement so you can see. And make you see. Okay. If you've already installed Microsoft Teams, you will join the class by copying this code, the one in bold, pasting it, and say you join the class. But if you don't have, you're using your own machine and you don't have Microsoft Teams installed in your computer, because you're going to be, when you're logging in to Microsoft Teams, if you're installing it, you're going to use your Mangosuthu email address, your university email address. But if you don't have access to that at this point in time, you can click on this link, join Microsoft Teams, using this link, which will give you access either via Microsoft Teams, which is installed, or you can just go on Teams Online on the browser. But once we are here, I just want to go back because I just want to show you how to access Microsoft Teams firstly. Now from here, if you want to go to Pearson, we're going to click on Tools. This is the content pane. From Tools, we're going to go to Pearson, My Lab and Mastering. From here, we'll select My Lab and Mastering course Home. Automatically, it will take you to Pearson. This is something that we have done before, but what I have done is I've restructured the course material. I've added a couple of folders to make things easy. I've removed certain things that we won't use and display what we'll only use. So from here, we're going to go to course material. Once you have clicked on course material, these are the folders you're going to see. But of course, our focus is on chapter 12, 13, 15, and 16, which is based on Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel. Now, this folder is basically a tutorial on how to to use Pearson as a whole, how to use the entire material. But what I want us to focus on at this point in time is this folder that I've created, which is called Simulation, Training and Assessment. Because what I have done there is I've added all the simulations for both chapters that we're going to need. The training simulation and the assessment simulation. This assessment simulation works like a test. So it is better that if you start your simulation training, that you begin with your training simulations first, and then you can go to your assessment training. As you can see, these are the two modules you're going to be covering. MS, short for Microsoft, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. So I'll just go into the folder of Microsoft Word. The very same thing that you'll see on Word, it will pretty much be the same thing on Excel. Difference, of course, being that the chapters and the content covered in the module. So we'll go to chapter 12 first. Now, I spoke of two things, simulation in terms of assessment and training. The blue one is the training assessment, meaning, as I have explained in the class, the training assessment gives you 5 attempts of responding to a question. If you fail to respond correctly to a question in all of those attempts, what it does is it shows you how you're supposed to respond to the question. Whereas the assessment, the one that has a green icon, it's more or less like a test. It will ask you a question, give you attempts, but it won't display or it won't show you whether you were wrong or you were right, and it will not demonstrate how to respond to that question. So what I always advise is that before you can move on to the assessment type of training, the green icon, finish all of these trainings first, be comfortable with them, and then you'll be able to move on to the assessment training. Trust you me, if you're able to complete these with an understanding and ability to do it on your own, you won't have a problem when it comes to the assessment, the actual test. But it's going to be really difficult for you to just go straight to a simulation without having first went through Microsoft Word, having looked at the environment and see how it looks and see how it works. Do a couple of small exercises on your own before you go into the simulation. Because I have realized that some students will just automatically go to the simulation having done little or nothing at all in viewing the two applications. So my advice would be, now, but fortunately, we have done a bit of work on Microsoft Word, so this should not be a problem. So the very same thing that you see here is going to be the same thing that you'll see on Excel. The training with the blue icon, the assessment with the green icon. The difference, of course, will be Excel is chapter 15 and 16. So the very same thing that we see on chapter 12 simulation, if we were to go back to MS Word, chapter 13, we'll see the same thing, but of course the sections covered in the simulation are going to be a little bit different than the one covered in chapter 12, but they're all simulations. As you can see, simulation is based on chapter 13. So let me go back to my course material. Okay, we'll stop here for now. I'm gonna update everything on Blackboard. So if there's an announcement, please, from time to time, let's go and have a look at our Blackboard. I'm gonna give you on Friday time to add yourselves into Microsoft Teams class. And hopefully, because we also have a session on Friday, we'll have a session in the afternoon, because I think on the timetable there is a slot for us to meet, and you guys can avail yourself to the venues, the D-Labs. I'll speak to the security guards there to avail the venues, so you can go into class and have a class on Microsoft Teams. So thank you for now.